Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now. Hold on to your hats, Bills Mafia, because the latest whispers from league insiders, people like Adam Schefter and other well-connected sources, are pointing to a potential blockbuster move that could seriously shake up the AFC East. And if it happens, it might just propel the Bills into an even stronger position as we gear up for the playoff push. We're talking about a possible trade that would see Garrett Wilson, the explosive wide receiver from the New York Jets, donning the Bills' jersey. Yeah, you heard that right. The Bills, currently sitting at 7-3 and fighting against a tight cap situation, are reportedly eyeing Wilson, a Pro Bowl caliber talent who could bring a lot of firepower to our offense. The Jets, on the other hand, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. They're sitting with a 3-7 record, and sources suggest they're open to parting ways with Wilson, especially since they're focused on clearing cap space. Around $16 million to make a push for the quarterback of the future, possibly drafting or signing a new QB to succeed Rodgers. The Jets are also trying to rebuild their offensive line, which has been leakier than a sieve, giving up 30 sacks so far this season. They're especially concerned about injuries on the line, like Becton's recent concussion that kept him out for 2 games, and that's pushing them to prioritize youth and depth on the OL, even if it means trading away some of their offensive weapons. But let's focus on the Bills' side of things because this potential trade could be a game changer. Buffalo's offense has been pretty solid this year, sitting at 7-3, but adding a player like Wilson could elevate our attack to a whole new level. Wilson's profile is impressive. He's 2025 eligible, has played 7 games this season, and has already racked up 36 catches for 395 yards and 4 touchdowns. His yards per catch average is 11-0, and he's someone who can create mismatches all over the field, especially given his speed and agility. His YAC, yards after catch, is 5.8 yards per reception, and he's proven to be reliable in contested catches with a 58% success rate. His deep catch rate is around 45%, which means he's not just a short yardage guy, he can stretch the field, which is exactly what the Bills need. His PFF grade of 88.9 indicates he's a top-tier receiver, and over his career, Wilson has accumulated 250 receptions for 500 yards and 20 touchdowns, making him a proven playmaker. So why would the Jets be willing to part with him? Well, with the current cap situation and their focus on building for the future, Wilson's value might outweigh their immediate needs. The Jets are clearing the way to free up around $16 million to back Rodgers or another quarterback, and trading Wilson for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft seems like a smart move for them in a rebuild. For the Bills, acquiring Wilson could be a massive upgrade to our receiver core, especially considering our cap constraints. Wilson's versatility and explosiveness would allow us to run more dynamic route concepts, especially in the red zone and on big play opportunities. Imagine the impact of Wilson lining up alongside Stefon Diggs and Gabe Davis. His addition would create a nightmare for defenses, forcing them to double-team or bracket coverage, which would open up opportunities for our other receivers and even for our tight ends. Plus, Wilson's ability to generate YAC and win contested catches means he can be a reliable target in tight windows, boosting Allen's efficiency and reducing turnovers. And speaking of Allen, his EPA per pass, expected points added, would see a significant bump, going from around plus 0.20 to plus 0.40 with Wilson on the field. That's the kind of upgrade that could push our offense into elite territory, especially considering our struggles with consistency in the passing game this season. Now, let's talk about the numbers. If Wilson joins the Bills, projections suggest he could add around 100 yards over the course of the season, pushing our aerial yardage from 240 yards per game to over 300. That's a substantial increase, and it would make our offense even more lethal. It would also elevate our play-action success rate, going from around 47% to close to 65%, because defenses would have to respect Wilson's deep threat ability. This would open up room for players like James Cook, who's been doing well with a 4.1 yards per carry average and a positive EPA, helping us stay balanced and unpredictable on offense. Defensively, the Bills could see some benefits too. With the added offensive firepower, our opponents might need to keep more players back, giving our defense a little more breathing room. But we also need to consider that teams like the Chiefs and Bengals are still lurking in the AFC, and adding a weapon like Wilson could give us that extra edge to beat them, especially in high-stakes playoff games. The odds for the Bills winning the Super Bowl, which currently sit around +1,500, could drop dramatically, potentially to +600 or even lower, making us a real threat to take that Lombardi home. Of course, there are some risks involved. Wilson has had injury issues in the past, missing 3 games due to a hip injury, which could be a concern for any team considering a trade. But if he's healthy, his upside is enormous. And for the Jets, parting with him might be tough. Wilson has shown flashes of being a true game breaker, especially in big moments. Remember his performance in 2024 against the Patriots, 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, and how he can elevate the entire offense when he's firing on all cylinders. For the Bills, adding Wilson isn't just about improving the passing game. It's about cementing our status as top contenders and making a statement that we're in it to win it this season and beyond. The trade would essentially solidify our WR core as one of the best in the league, creating a dynamic duo with Diggs and Wilson that defenses will struggle to contain. It would also send a clear message that the Bills are serious about winning now, investing heavily in our offense to maximize Josh Allen's prime years. This move could be the final piece that pushes us over the top, especially if we can keep the chemistry and health intact through the playoffs. And with the playoffs approaching, every little advantage counts, and Wilson's addition could be that X factor that turns a good team into a Super Bowl favorite. Looking ahead, this kind of move would also send shockwaves through the AFC East. The Dolphins and Jets would have to reconsider their strategies, knowing that the Bills are not only competitive, but now even more explosive. It's a bold gamble, but one that could define the next era of Bills football, an era where we're not just contenders, but undeniable favorites when the postseason arrives. Imagine the hype, the energy, the roar of Bills Mafia as Wilson makes his debut at Highmark Stadium, electrifying the crowd and giving our offense a newfound swagger. That's the kind of impact that could resonate for years, setting us up for sustained success. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Wilson is the missing piece that elevates us to Super Bowl glory? Would you trade a second-round pick in 2026 for him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. Remember, this is all speculation right now, but the potential is huge, and the offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned to keep your finger on the pulse of everything Bills. We're in this together, and with moves like these, the sky's the limit for our team. Let's go, Buffalo. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Buffalo Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news.